Let me see. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. How are we doing? How are we doing? Right, guys. My hair is a little bit messy, and I will go take a haircut later. But now we are going to stream. Right, so we will continue with the last lesson that we are at, which is CSS organization new.
Right here at the top of the file. Oh, and by the way, to create comments, you've got a really quick shortcut key. So that is Control/ on Windows and Command/ on Mac. When you're done with that, I'll organize the CSS my way, and that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be better than yours. It might just be different. So pause now and have a go at that. Okay, hopefully you had some ideas of a logical, coherent way to do this. So I'm going to keep my body selector right here at the top, and I don't think I really need to give that a segment title. It pretty much speaks for itself. Now the next thing I'm going to do is create a comment right here, and I'm going to call this section typography. And here I'm going to have all of these headers. We've got H1, H2, and H3. And obviously, if we had more, for example, the P tag, we would put that right here as well. So that's that. Next, I'm going to create a segment for links. And for now, all that's going to have in it is our A and the pseudo elements that go with A. So in fact, I can just cut header out of the way and bring that somewhere down.
So it's like a... So segmentation is more like a... yeah, it's for like comments.
And lastly, I'm going to come in here and create a section called layout. And this one, I'll try and put in a top to bottom order as much as possible. So we'll start with the header, then we'll have the section, then the container, and then main image. Now, at a later date, we might want to take main image out and put that back somewhere else with other images. But I think in this layout, we've only got a few images, so probably having everything under layout is going to be absolutely fine. And likewise, if this layout were more complex, perhaps I would divide layout up. I might have one called, for example, header and navigation. But in a project of this size, I don't think that's necessary at all. Right, that is looking tidier already. If you did something different, maybe yours was better, who knows, but at least you've shown that you've given this some thought and you've made life a little bit easier for your colleagues.
Second section colors.
Okay, let's come on to the second section of the layout. If we have a look in detail, we can see that we've already achieved quite a lot of what we're aiming for. The content is centered, the text has got the correct font size and font weight for both the heading and the paragraph. Now the things that we haven't got right yet are these pictures, but we'll come to those later, and the colors. Now this section should have a background of purple, and the heading and the paragraph text should be white smoke. Now, if we come to the mini browser, you can see that actually section 2 is in quite a mess at the moment. So here's your challenge. Change the background color of this section, remembering to make sure the color covers 100% of the page width. Change the font color for all the text in this section. Right. Now, I haven't given you much instruction on how to do this. You've got all of the skills you need, so give it some thought and see what you can come up with. I'm pretty sure that you can do this. So pause now, give it your best shot, and I'll see you back here in
section. This section is going to be containers. Make sure the color covered 100% of this. Right. Do, 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 do. Give it an ID. ID of extra text, right? And then we do class extra text. Extra text is going to be background colors. That color is going to be a width 100%, a width cover, yeah. Do, 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 do. Headers. Why is it not running? Background colors. White smoke. Extra text, right? ID. Change it to a class. Run. Yes. Yes. And then what do? Change the font colors for all text. Right, we done?
Just a moment. Just equal the background color. Here you figured out that what we need to do is create another class. So over in index.html, and I will hit select it. Good. Next thing.
Quick word about Flexbox. This is important stuff that you need to know.
I'm just popping in with a quick message about the next scrim where we use some Flexbox. Now, in that scrim, I mentioned that Flexbox was introduced earlier in the course. Actually, Flexbox is introduced in Module 2, Web Dev Basics, but as that material is very new, it's possible that you've got this far in the course without learning about Flexbox. So if Flexbox is a completely new concept to you, click on this slide and it will take you through to the Flexbox section of Module 2. You've got just 2 or 3 scripts to watch there that deal with Flexbox, and then you can come back here and move on. I just wanted to pop that in here, just in case you got to the next scrim and were horribly confused or frustrated because you hadn't come across Flexbox before. Okay, hope that's clear. Let's move on. Okay, let's deal with these 2 images. So as you can see, we've got them side by side and they are aligned on the left hand and the right hand with the content, and there is some space between them. Now, in a previous module, you were introduced to Flexbox, and you're going to need Flexbox again for this challenge. One thing that Flexbox does really well is it lets us control how elements are spaced out inside their container, and that is what we want here. So we're going to create an image container and then control where the images sit within that container. So your challenge is this. Firstly, I want you to give each of these 2 images a class, and then I want you to set their width and border radius using the information you've got with this slide. Next, I want you to put them inside a new div and use Flexbox to put the 2 images in their correct place at opposite ends of that div. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of help here. Firstly, to use Flexbox, you need to set the display property to the correct value. If you've forgotten what value that is, the answer is a really quick Google search away. Secondly, previously you've used the justify content property and you set it to space around. This time, you'll still need justify content, but you're not going to use space around. Again, search online how you could have elements spread out to opposite ends of a container using Flexbox. In fact, I'd recommend having a quick look at the MDN article on justify content, as that has a great little widget where you can see the different potential values for justify content around. The value that is, the answer is a really pop here. Firstly, to use Flexbox, you need to set the display property to the correct value, as that has a great little widget. Okay, hopefully you
Right, so it's extremely easy. But first we need to do HTML. Section 2, image, ID. Call this section 2, image. Now we do another one. We copy here, space, and we do CSS. And what do we do? Hash section 2 image. Set the width is going to be how many pixels he wants. Width 300 pixel. Commas. Right, now it's look nice already. Border radius 4.5. Border radius 4.5. 4.6 pixel. You want a specific value, which is I really like. It's not like, oh, you have to figure it out. No, I wouldn't figure it out. Okay, so next one is going to be display flex. Which one is it going to be? Diff, right? The diff. Diffy and the Jiffy. Containers. They both have the same class, so should do section 2. Now it's going to break the diff into. It's only happened to child elements. So this is class. Let's try it. Do section 2, right? Section 2. Display flex. Oh, Jesus. Class section 2, class container. Yeah, we do containers. Class containers. Display flex. Oh no, we do containers 2. Right, displays flex. container 2, display flex, align item, centers, justified content. Justified content is going to be start, space between. Why is it not working? Class, container 2, first contain 2, display flex. Run this. Not centers, it has to be, oh, we need to have the columns. Wait a minute. It's supposed to be H2. H2 here. ID. Section 2. Section 2. Title. This only happened to child element. Is it an ID? ID, right? Right, centers. What do they do? Space between. Column gap. Space between. Why is it not space between? Kurwa. Space around. Hey. Why is it not? Yeah, it's supposed to be container 2. Containers 2. Now, how do I do?
Managed to do that just fine. I'm going to head over to index.html, and right here in the second section, I may save that, and then back in index.css, we want the images to have a width of 300 pixels and a border radius of, give them the border radius. So we know that our content is 620 pixels wide. The images should be 300 pixels wide, so that should leave 20 in the middle. Well, that's not happening at the moment, so let's head back into index.html. I'm just going to move the mini browser out of the way, and now let's set up a div here to contain our...
Alright, yeah, this is why. This is why it was acting weird. So we need a div here. Div. This is going to be ID image holders. Then we do this as slash div. Right, now we target the class image holders. Image holders, and this is going to be displays flex, right, line item, line content, centers, item on content. Item, right? Items. Run this. Justified content. Space between. What do we do next? Padding. Between. Padding. Left and right, right? Left is going to be... Oh, still stick to the freaking page. Still stick to the freaking page. Right. Ah, I see. Padding. Top down. 0 pixel. This one is going to be 20 pixel.
Images. So I'm going to give this one, and then just after the images, of course, I need to close that div, and let's just indent everything once. So now I'm going to hit save, and of course nothing will change yet, but let's head back to the CSS, and again, after feature image, let's create, and now we do that, we get the space we're looking for right.
Space between.
There in between the two images. Okay.
That's it? You don't do anything? Wait, space between? I did the same thing. And why is it not working? Where is it? Where's my stuff? Containers, background, space around. No padding. We don't do align item centers. And we run. Why does it look like this? Why does this look like this?
Things are looking pretty good. When you're ready to move on, I'll see you in the let, and there we are, .css. I can come right down to the bottom of our layout section, and I will set up a class for feature. Image. Now we know from the slide that we want the images to have a width of 300 pixels, content property.
Wait, what?
And what do we want to set it?
What? I did the same things. Display flex, justify content center space between. And why is it my stuff doesn't work? Look, when I drag this, it doesn't stay at one place. Why his stuff works? I don't understand. Let's take this. Why is my code is different than his? Was here, right? Image holders, space between. Put it in here. What is wrong? Section 2 image, take it here. What is wrong with this? Feature image, 400 displays flex. Section 2. Oh. No display flags, right? What's more colors? Still the same. Containers with this is basically the same stuff. Main image 100%. Feature image 300 pixels 600. Justify content space between. And then when I run my stuff, it doesn't work. Why is it like this? Body, font size, margin, font size, margin 0, section padding 45. Have that. Container width 620. Have that as well. Section padding 45. What? Ridiculous. Fucking hate CSS.
Fine. I'm going to head over to index.html images. Okay, things are looking pretty good. When you're ready to
Freaking hate
move on,
CSS.
I'll see you in the next script.
Fucking CSS. What a bitch. CSS is such a dog shit language.
Okay, so let's get this footer sorted out. If we look in detail, we can see that it's the smallest and, dare I say, easiest part of the layout. There are three obvious differences between where we are now, if we come down to the bottom of our layout, and where we want to be. We want to have the space on the top and the bottom, we want to have the text centered horizontally, and we want the text color to be purple. We've got the font sizes we need right here. So there's your challenge. Center the footer's text horizontally, give the text space top and bottom. Now I've put a warning here, don't add margin. Look at the sections and header for inspiration as to how we're going to create that space. And lastly, give the text the correct color. So pause now.
Center the text. Footers. Text align, centers, right, and we add a padding. Going to be, first of all, we add a font size. Font size 16 pixel. What else? Padding 10 pixel, 15 pixel. No, it's supposed to be for the text. But what we can do is display flex, text align centers, what is it? Content, align content, align items, centers, justified content. Wait, align item or content? Yeah, there's only one item here. So let's run. Display flex. Flex item. Come on, what the heck is this? What a dog shit. Yes, display flex. Justified content, yes. Justified content centers. Right, and then what do we do? Space around, and then we add a width of this to be, how big is this? 300 pixel, 200 pixel. Footers, 500 pixel. Centers. Height 500 pixel. No width, so we do 200, 100. Yes, 100 look nice, looks good. Align is like this, right? Align is like this. Horizontal. No, vertical, and then justified is like horizontal. I'm assuming like that.
And I'll see the far east to the left, to ready on the header and in the sections with the padding property. So we're giving it 40, then next to move on, I'll see you there.
Everything now is like display flex. And sometimes it's confusing.
Okay, let's take a moment to review what we've done and do some refactoring. Now, when we styled the footer, you might have noticed that this line here, padding 45.0, we've written that line of CSS at least 3 times now. You would have heard the acronym DRY, don't repeat yourself. Well, we had act was 4 pixels solid and pink. We can do that just by listing them all as color separated.
That's
so
nice.
That means find all of the headers, all of the sections, all of the footers. Of course, we've only got one header and one footer, and give them and if is possible. And at the end, that is.
What if we can think of a bot that's saying, oh, all of this has like the same properties, or like it's all under the same style, and then this is automatically group all of it in. This might be easy, right? It might.
It's exactly the same. Then we have your sites, and then away that line right there. And again, we can see, there we are. I think that's just going to keep things tidy and stop them stretching out across the whole screen. Now, I think there's one more that we can do, actually, because section 2 and the header both have the same background color. So how about if we delete that from section 2, dry, that can make it...
Yeah, I liked this tidiness. I liked it. Looks better. It's easier. Like, you don't have to like, oh, why is it repeating? Why is it like that? Why is it like this? Now it's clear, clean and clear. Clean and clear.
A little bit trickier to debug. That's just something to bear in mind. You're ready? Let's move on.
This is just a quick warning that some users have had problems with the following scrim not displaying properly. If the mini browser is just showing you a blank screen or just a small amount of text, and what's on the screen doesn't seem to make sense with what's being said, there's a couple of things you can try. Firstly, try disabling AdBlock Chrome extension or any other ad blocking software that you're running. And secondly, try putting Chrome into incognito mode. Now, I'm not 100% sure why this particular scrim has triggered the Chrome AdBlock extension in this way, but that does seem to be the case. So if you have any problems and you try one of those two things, you should be fine.
Specificity.
Specificity. And before long, you're going to run into conflicts. You're going to have something on your layout, whether that's a piece of text or an image or a border, that's being targeted by more than one selector. Now, in the battle for CSS supremacy, there can only ever be one winner. And if you understand how CSS deals with these conflicts, you can confidently predict which CSS is going to win and control what you see on the screen, and which CSS is going to be ignored by the browser. So what is it that makes one piece of CSS more powerful than another piece? Well, that all comes down to something called specificity. Let's jump straight into an example. This is a job ad for a junior developer, and like loads of crazy recruiters, the one who wrote this has got no idea what a junior developer is. Job ads like this are a massive red flag. Check this out. Using non-deterministic polynomial time for specific algorithm problems.
Wow.
I mean, that's no problem for me. I do that sort of thing every morning. But for a junior developer, that's a non-starter. Okay, honestly, I've got no idea what they're talking about there. But that's fine. Let's talk about specificity. So we're going to target this paragraph of text right here. So I'm just going to come into the CSS, and underneath our headers, I'm going to create a paragraph selector, and I'm just going to change the font size here to 18 pixels, and there we are, it's got a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to set the color to black. Now, that's not going to make a big difference because we already had it set to a very dark color, which is just off black. Okay, now I'm going to head over to index.html. I'll move the mini browser out of the way. And this is the paragraph we've got right here. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to give it a class, and I'm going to call this class job desk. Now I'm going to reopen the mini browser, and then I'll come back into job desk, and I'm going to give this a font size of 20 pixels. And there we are, we saw our paragraph get bigger, and let's just make that really clear. I'm going to give it a color of green. Okay, so we can see already that this class selector here has overruled the paragraph selector that we already had. Now back in index.html, I'm again just going to move the mini browser out of the way, and now I'm going to give this an ID. I'm going to call this ID job desk as well. It's no problem to have a class and an ID with the same name. It's not necessarily
but an ID is going to get target
for
first.
testing purposes, it's going to be absolutely fine. So back in the CSS, underneath our job dev 22 pixels, And let's just reopen the mini browser. I think that's made it bigger. Let's just comment it out and see. Yes, it has. Eaten the class. If we have to selector, and I'll set the color back to black, so the lower selector is going to win. But now, if we uncomment these new ones, and then we cut and paste this P selector underneath them, well, nothing happens. The red is winning through.
ID is first. Then we have class. Then we have P. And then the P, the position after the P is going to get target before the P. So third place is the P behind. And last P is the P before. Right.
Not because it's lower, it's the up 1 point. So let's say you get handy, and we wrap up. I just want to say a word about IDs. We haven't really used them in this layout, and it's quite common to not use IDs for CSS. For targeting elements with JavaScript, absolutely. But for styling alone, not so common. I've used it here as an example, and it is good to know that if you do use an ID, you'll get higher specificity. And of course, you will come across code where IDs are used for styling, and perhaps you will yourself. It is a little bit down to personal taste. My personal preference is to use an element selector for general rules and classes for everything else. Now, I'm not saying everybody does that, but it is quite.
I think I will be specific to the point, so I would use ID. Why is it built there and nobody use it? Oh, make it a rule, make it a rule. Shut up. I want to use ID.
Okay, let's talk for a moment about compound selectors. Compound selectors are somewhat controversial, and it makes life a little bit easier if you don't use them. But you will see them in real life, and you might well end up using them yourself, so it's definitely a good idea to take a closer look. So what are compound selectors? Well, let's take a real-world example. This is a screenshot from Spotify. And look at these two buttons that we've got here. First we've got a black one on a purple background.
That's nice.
Then we've got a green one on a blue background. Now, these two buttons are not exactly the same, but they do have a lot of similarities. They're the same height. They're the same shape, as in they have the same border radius. The text has got the same fonts and the same font weight. In fact, they're much more similar than they are different. The background colour and the text colour are different, but that's about it. So there's no way the developers needed to create two completely different components here. So imagine this. If this section here had the class name purple, and this section in the bottom had the class name blue, what we could do with a compound selector is select any button which is inside an element with the class name purple. And then we could select any button which is inside an element with the class name blue. And of course, we could do this with pretty much anything. We might want to target the anchor elements which are in the header, and then separately
This might sound really interesting.
The footer or the sidebar. So what we're doing with a compound selector is really homing in on the exact element you want to target without giving that element a class of its own. So let's have a look at some code. Back in our crazy job advert, we have got links both inside this actual advert container and outside.
Mine sounds really interesting.
Now, it's quite possible that we would want to style those links differently. So let's use a compound to target these links, which are right here inside the ad container. So if I pop over to the HTML, I'll just move the mini browser out of the way. Here we are, we can see the div called ad container, and then down at the bottom of ad container, we can see that we've got the anchor tags for these links right here. So what I'm going to do in index.css is come down to underneath our existing anchor selector, and I'm going to start by selecting add container. Then I'm going to hit space, and then I'm going to put an A, and what we've got here now then is effectively two selectors, one for add container and one for A. And what this CSS is doing then is saying, find me any anchor elements inside anything with the class of add container. Now, if we reopen the mini browser, let's go ahead and style up just these links right here. So I'm going to give them a color of lime green, and I'm going to give them a size of 18 pixels. And there we are. You can see that we've successfully targeted the anchor elements inside this add container, but the other anchor elements we've got in this layout have not been affected. Okay, let me set you up with a mini challenge. I want you to create a compound selector which targets the anchor links inside the links container. So that's these ones at the bottom. And if you go to index.html, you can see that we've already got this div with the class links container right there, and those are these links.
Oh, easy. We do dot, what is it called? Links containers. Then we do, oh no, then we do this. What do we do? Colors? What do we change to? Put the hover state on them. Remove the underline. Okay. Create a compound. Set the color to Dodger blue. Colors. Dodger blue. Right. Set the size to font size. Size 20 pixel. Yeah, yes, and then we do remove underline, text decoration, none, right? And then we do hover state. Hover. Then we do this. Why is it a list bracket? And then what do we do? Put the cursor so that the color change to colors. Fuchsia. How do you say it? Fuchsia. I don't know. When the cursor hover over them. Right. Okay.
I want you to set their color to Dodger blue, and Dodger blue is a named color, so you can literally just use exactly that. And I want you to set the size to 20 pixels. Also, I want you to remove this underline. Now I've given you a heap there, get them, be sure. Still here, want that margin of 10 pixels to apply to all of our there.
Guys, this is some new stuff that we learned with CSS. Pretty interesting stuff. Like way more interesting than the last stuff that we do from yesterday.
Okay, let's talk about
way
compound
better.
selectors and specificity. So specificity.
That is like a really mouthful words. Compound selectors and specificity. Specificity.
We created these compound selectors, and if you'll remember, we've also
right, guys. If you go and like see some job ads that look like this, don't apply for this company. One, it could be a scam. Two, they just underpay. They just want to underpay you as a junior developers, but they want your skill to be a senior to like normal developers to like a senior developers. So if you see some job ads that look like this, don't even think about applying into this. First, they might be, oh, you don't have this skill. I don't think we can pay you that much anymore. Blah blah blah, and then they just going to underpay you for watching. Underpay first of all, and then there's like, oh, maybe we can talk about the salary, and then they want to hire you, and then it's just scammy. It's just scammy because like nobody is going to know all of this, right? 10 years, 15 years, 6 years. This is like senior level. If you have like 3 years or like 5 years, 3 to 5 years in like the same company, you would probably get promoted to a senior if you do it correctly. If and then Node.js, SQL, Python, C. That's like a wide variety of languages. Like Node.js, you need to know JS. SQL, Node.js is for the front end, like the library and stuff like that. SQL, it's like talking to a database. So it's like they want you to know basically the full stack package and Python as well. And then C++, why would you need a person to know SQL, Python? That's like for data analysts. Node.js is for front-end dev like us. And C++. C++ is for software engineering. So if you see anything that's look like this, just move on. Don't apply for this. This look like the scummiest job posting. Like don't even consider this, guys. Look, they describe like they talk some nonsense over here, just to like flexing. This job is going to teach you a lot of things, but actually they just want to underpay you. If you have all of the qualification here, they just want to underpay you. As a developers to a senior developers in term of a junior, and they just want to pay junior developers salary for you, but you have the skill to be a senior or like a official developers. I don't know, like juniors, then developers, then senior developers. So they just want to underpay you. So dumb, right? But move on to this.
We've got this single anchor tag selector right here, and if we were to add anything here, for example a color of pink, nothing's going to happen because these have higher specificity, and it's nothing to do of course with the position. So if we cut and paste it below them, still nothing at all happens. So that really makes it clear that these have a higher specificity than the single A tag, but that also begs the question, how do you calculate specificity with compound selectors? And to understand that, we need to go back to our CSS points. So if you remember, an element gets 1 point, a class gets 10 points, and an ID gets 100 points. And to calculate them on a compound, all we need to do is add them together. So the class add container is worth 10 points, and the anchor is worth 1 point. So this gets 11. This will also have 11, and this, of course, will only have 1 point. So that's why it is beaten in specificity by these compound selectors. Okay, that's quite neat, right? It hasn't caused us any problems. So why the controversy? Well, this is a pretty simple example, and it's a bit hard to mock up a more complex example without getting really contrived or creating a massive code base. But why don't we try a little game? I just want you to focus for a moment on this key requirements list right here. So this list is coming from the HTML that we've got, if I just move the mini browser out of the way for a moment, right here. So we've got this UL and the LI elements right in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is add some HTML, which is not strictly speaking necessary for this layout, just for the purposes of this game. And I'm also going to add 2 somewhat more complicated compound selectors up here in the CSS underneath this UL. In fact, I'll put them underneath this challenge. What I'm then going to ask you to do is to look through the HTML and the new CSS selectors that I'll put down here and figure out what color this key requirements list is going to be. I'm closing the mini browser now. Don't look at the mini browser again until you've made your guess. Okay, so here are the new compound selectors. As you can see, they are somewhat more complicated. Look through them, look through the HTML, see if you can decide what color you think that unordered list is going to be when you hit preview up here to reopen the mini browser. Pause now, have a think about that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment.
Wait, do not look at the mini browser. Look through the HTML and the new compound selectors in the CSS below and figure out what color the key requirements. Oh, UL. Red, green. Easy.
So if we come down here onto this one, which has the color red, well,
It's
we
green.
can see that we've got body, section, div, and li. Those are all elements, so those will have 1 point each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got add container and general list. These are classes which have 10 points each. That gives us a total of 24. Let's come up onto this green one here. Now, again, we've got section, UL, and LI. They will have 3 each. Add container is a class, so that has 10 points. That takes us to 13. And rec list is an ID, and IDs have 100 points. So that gives us a total here. These key requirements are listed as green. So well to show you it votes it when you're ready to move on.
Specificity. Oh yeah.
I think that the text that we've got here is just a little bit bunched up and difficult to read. We should space it out a little bit, and we can do that really easily with the CSS line height property. So have a look at this slide. This is what we're aiming for. The text has just got a little bit more space between each line. It's easier on the eye, easier to read. So here's a challenge for you. Can you increase the line height of the paragraph text so
Right, so we do P. This is going to be specificity, is going to be blah 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 da da da. Section containers. Section 2 P. Right, class section 2, then P, then this. Line height going to be 23 pixel. Comments, then we are go. Okay.
that is all it's final. It's just a remnant is to set the line height specifically on the paragraph because we give you simplicity and start investigating. And of course, these dev tools are here to help. Okay, now that text is a bit easier to read and things are looking good, let's move on. Okay, let's think about links and buttons because sometimes they get confused and appearances can be deceptive. Here is a banner ad for a Ferrari track day. It's just a background
sexy.
image on a div with some text and 2 buttons. But wait there, these buttons look a bit suspicious to me. One of them is offering us some bookings and the other is offering to show us some other offers. Now, both of those things look like they're going to take me to a new page. This is navigation. Buttons shouldn't be doing that. And that brings us to a very good question. When should I use a link and when should I use a button? We should use buttons for actions that affect the website's front end or back end. Think JavaScript, think about interaction. And we should be using links for navigation to somewhere on the same page, somewhere within the site, or elsewhere on the internet. So that's the big divide. Links are for navigation, buttons are for interaction. Okay, you might be thinking, well, half of the sites I visit break that rule. I'm always clicking on buttons to take me places. Well, you might think that, but unless you're inspecting the site using DevTools or looking at the source HTML, you can't be sure. because you can style up a link to look exactly like a button. So you might ask, well, why would I want to do that then? The difference seems rather unimportant. Well, you'd be wrong. This is an accessibility issue. Speed readers and assistive technologies rely on the developer making the right decisions. So to keep your site accessible, you need to take the time to get this right. Let's have a quick look at the CSS. Making an anchor tag look like a button is fairly straightforward, and I've set up a challenge for you right here. I want you to change these buttons into links, so you can do that over in index.html. I want you to style them like buttons so they look exactly the same. You've got the CSS here, and you can reuse most of it. Warning, this is going to cause a layout issue. Don't worry, we'll deal with that a bit later. Okay, pause now, have a go at this, and I'll see you back.
Change the button to links. Buttons to links. Links. Wait, let me do this. Let me do this trick. Try it. Control D, Control D, Control D. Now we delete all of it and we do link. Fast. Efficient. I love it. Change the links, style them like buttons so they weird. Oh, anchor tag. What am I doing? What am I doing, man? Right. D D D D A. Right. Run. Now we change this to A tag. Yes, padding. Border radius, fonts, cursor pointers. Margin top. 40 pixel. No. Run. 20 pixel. 420. No. Padding.
Back here in just a moment. Now I am just going to hit save. You can see that we have layout. We can just delete bus, come in here and set the text decoration to none. Cut that for now. This is a great mystery and we're going to clear it up in the very near.
Why is my text is already cleared out? Oh, because I don't have the href. Right, if I have an href now it's going to change from line to no line, right? Text decoration, no comments, run, okay.
About this issue in a couple of scripts time. When you're ready to move on, I'll see you there. Okay, let's get started on these buttons. We have got 2 in the first section and 2 in the second section. Now, if you look at this slide, you can see that we've actually got 3 different types of button, and that is because more info and contact are actually the same button. We've also got a hover and active state using this light yellow background color, and that is going to be the same on all of the batteries. And in this box, we have got all of the padding, border radius, and font weight information that you need. So let's jump straight into the challenge. Your challenge is to style the 4 button style links as per the specifications on this slide. Group the selectors where possible to keep the code dry. And I've just put a warning here. Think about what would make good class names for these button links. There's no right or wrong answer to that. I just want you to bear it in mind. Okay, pause now, give it your best shot, and I'll see you.
Style the 4 buttons link as per the specification on the slide. By NFT, by NFTs, by NFTs, by NFTs. More info, more info, more info, more info. Right. Where is it? Right, so we do, is it all A tags? Yes, A tag. A.
Be back here in just a moment. Buttons. I'm going to call them BTN dark up some class names right in SS. So let's open up the mini browser and we can see them.
Yeah, this is not really nice. A tag going to have a border radius padding 1019 10 pixel 19 pixel. Then we do border radius radius is going to be, what is it, 4.5 pixel. What do we do next? Font weight 400 pixel, 500 pixel. Right, now it all has a padding. Right. Oh, it's all up here. Right. And we don't need this. Start of 4 buttons. Now we do, what is it? We need to call this ID. ID, this is going to be by NFTs, NFT by NFT BTN ID more info BTN. Stop it. More info BTN. Right. ID about us BTN. ID contact BTN. Right now we do this ID, so it's like by NFT BTN. Then we have another one called, what is it? More info BTN. What is it? Contact BTN. Shit. About us BTN. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Buy NFTs 5F29P 5F. Right. There we go. Buy BTN. White smoke colors. Same shit. Copy, copy, copy. Run. Crafting and NFTs. Why is it target? Should we just do? There's an A somewhere here. Dog shit A. T is about us. Right, how do we do this? All the A's. Call this ID. Crafting. Right. Hold the links. Right NFTs buttons. Oh, we can do A. Rewind. Right. A. 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 And A. Right. Rewind that. Color. White smoke. Slash. This. Right. We do BTN. What the fuck is this shit? Fucking CSS. What a dumbass bitch. Be specific. Supposed to target this. Oh, it's A. And then hashtag buy NFTs BTN. What about that? What the fucking bitch? Is it not working? Hello, white smoke. Oh, that's it. I overcomplicated it. Overcomplicated it for a bit. Alright, we do FE overactive. Where's this buy NFTs? Oh, overactive. F3 E885 885, right? And then what the color going to be 2B 238 something 2B 283A, right? Run this. Okay. Why is it still white smoke? Is it like a 283 hashtag? Run this. Okay. And let's skip that. Yeah, let's skip that.
Okay, let's talk about block, inline, and inline block elements. We need to see if we can figure out what's going on here with these links that we've styled like buttons. Somehow, the margin that we've got in our CSS, we've got this margin top of 20 pixels here, this is not working. Let's just try whacking that up to 200 or even 2000. These links are not moving, so something is going wrong here. So what's actually happening? Well, let's go and look at block elements to start with. So block elements stack on top of each other. Div, P, H1 are all examples of block elements, and of course there are plenty of others. You can set the height and margin top and bottom on a block element. And we can see block elements in action right here. We've got this H2. So if I go to index.html and I just copy this H2 and we hit save, well, of course, we see the H2 stacked on top of each other. And we already know in the CSS that we can have a margin top here if we want to say 100 pixels. So there we are, the margin top is respected. Okay, let's put that back how it was. Okay, next we come on to inline elements. Now, inline elements sit side by side. Span and A are examples of inline elements. And this makes a certain amount of sense because if you have a link or a span in a text, you don't want that to take a new line. Now, we can't set the height and margin, top and bottom, on an inline element. Now, that is crucial to us right here because what we've got with these links is inline elements. And what we're trying to do with this CSS is set the margin top. Well, that is not possible with inline elements. But we can do something about that because inline block elements are coming to the rescue. So inline block elements sit side by side just like inline elements. Button and input are good examples of inline block elements, and we can set the height and margin top and bottom. So in a way, with inline block elements, we are getting the best of both worlds. They're sitting in line, but we can control both the height and the margin. So what do we need to do to get these links behaving exactly like buttons in terms of having this margin top respected? Well, I've put a little challenge for you right here. All I want you to do is set the display property of the links to inline block. So pause now, have a go at that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment.
Set the display property of our link to inline block, right? Display inline block. What else? Right.
Okay, so hopefully you managed to do that just fine. It literally is just a case of having the display property margin top. So if we do want to whack it up to 200, they're going to disappear off the page. We don't want to do that. We could take it down to 0, and now they sit right. Put this knowledge to good use. They don't overlap. But 20 pixels is just right. Great, we have solved the mystery of the rotator. All I want is not possible is what you like. Now, with links, set the height and margin, top and bottom, on an inline element. Now, that is crucial to us right here, because what we've got with these links is inline elements. And what we're trying to do with this CSS is set the margin top. Well, that is not possible with inline elements. But we can do something about that because inline block elements are coming to the rescue. So inline block elements sit side by side just like inline elements. Button and input are good examples of inline block elements, and we can set the height and margin top and bottom. So in a way, with inline block elements, we are getting the best of both worlds. They're sitting in line, but we can control both the height and the margin. So what do we need to do to get these links behaving exactly like buttons in terms of having this margin top respected? Well, I've put a little challenge for you right here. All I want you to do is set the display property of the links to inline block. So pause now, have a go at that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. Having the how we can control to the wedge just like inline elements. Button and input are good examples of inline block elements, and we can set the height and margin top and bottom. What we need to do to get these set to inline.
I see. So inline block can set the shut off. They can set the margin. Display inline cannot set the margin or height, but the inline block you can do that. You can set the margin and height or width.
Okay, so these buttons are looking fine in themselves, but the space between them and the paragraph text is really bothering me. Now, one thing that we could try is to put some margin on these buttons. So why don't you do that now? Just come in here to this group selector and see if you can give the buttons a margin of 10 pixels just to increase the space between.
Oh, easy. Margin 10 pixel. Right.
Between the text and the button. Pause now and try that. Okay, did it work? No, it didn't. If we come in here and we put a margin on these buttons, well, look what happens. They space out right and left, but it doesn't increase the space between the text and the button. Now that's happening because these links are inline elements, so margin is not recognized on the top and the bottom. So we might as well go ahead and delete that.
Display.
Now the problem with these being recognized as inline elements is that if we were to come up here to the P selector and take away the default margin by setting the margin to 0, well, look what happens. Now we have got overlap, and that is the worst look on a website ever. So let's go back to our default margin, but we do need to solve this problem. So I've got, of course, a challenge for you. I want you to use the display property to make the new links behave more like buttons. I've left that quite general because I think you know.
Display inline block. Here we do margin 10 pixel. Okay.
What to do here. So pause now, links, and put a margin on the vector. If we did want to take the margin here down to 0, at least the buttons don't overlap. They are, of course, too crowded, but they don't overlap with the text. So that is exactly what we wanted. Okay, now the layout is looking good. We've got a little bit more to do in terms of refactoring, and we'll come on to that next.
Refactorings. I hear that word a lot, but I don't really understand what it is. Hey, shut up. I save it. Oh, this one. Let's just kick it out.
Okay, so these buttons are looking fine. Okay, let's look at how we can apply two CSS classes to the same
Ooh, I see stocks. I like it.
Sometimes a good idea. I'm building myself an app to help me keep an eye on my text stocks. All I want to be able to do is to see at a glance if the stocks I own are going up or going down at any given moment. So I've got a pretty clear colour scheme going on here. The stocks which are rising in price are green, the stocks which are falling in price are red, and the stocks which are not changing are in black. And it's really good to see that the Scrimba price is on the up. Now, if we look at the CSS, just like before, I've done a bit too much work. Look, I've got these three classes here, price up, price down, and price equal, and there's a lot of repetition going on. This is not dry. Now, we could do what we did before with the group selectors. So we would say price up, comma, and then price down, etc., etc. Now, that's fine, but I think there's something else we could do here, which is going to be even neater and in the long run, even less work. And we're going to do that by putting two classes on one element. So if I go over to index.html, I'm just going to move the mini browser out of the way a second. Now here we've got all of the cards, and what I'm going to do is where we've got the price at the bottom of each card, I'm actually going to add an extra class. Now, this extra class could go before or after, it doesn't really matter, but to be neat and be consistent, I'm actually just going to put it at the beginning. I'm going to call this new class price. And to put two classes on one element, all we need to do is list them right here inside these speech marks and put a space between them. It might feel intuitive that they be comma separated or something like that. They are not. That will break it. And of course, if there's no space, that would just be completely confusing because that says something completely different. So what we want is as many classes as we want, separated by a space. Okay, I'm going to work my way down this code, and I'm going to add a class of price to each of these elements at the bottom of each card. And now I'm going to save that, and we can head back to index.css, and of course nothing has changed so far. Now, I'm just going to cut and paste you a quick challenge. Okay, so here's your challenge. I want you to put all of the shared properties from these three classes here in a new selector for the price.
Oh, so price, not price. It's going to be font, weight, bold. Alright, cut this, put it in there. And all of this, Control D, Control D, Control D, delete, padding. Okay, so all of this, paste, right, then this, Control D, delete that, right. Now what we can do is delete any CSS no longer needed. Right,
there it is, and we've now got two classes on the same element. So that's a really useful way of working with CSS. You're going to use it a lot more in the future, and you're also going to see some really cool naming conventions that make CSS easier to handle using techniques like this.
This type of technique is really useful. Like now it makes me less against CSS, but I'm still against CSS. This is ass language, but hey, at least it's getting better now. Delete this.
I'm going to put this to use back in our layout. When you're ready to move on, I'll see you there.
Refractors, the buttons. Yes, this is exactly.
So let's look at a better CSS for the.
Hey, quiet. All right. So this is the thing that I was wondering with the last exercise, because I was like, oh, how do I do this? Now what we can do is basically refractors. It's basically like grouping all of it into one, meaning reconstruct operation without altering functionality.
These button style links. Based on what we've just learned, I think we can reduce the repetition here and do this in a neater, easier to understand way. So here's a challenge for you. I want you to refactor the CSS for these button style links using 2 classes on each link element. And I've just put a warning here. Think about what you're going to call the new class that you'll need to create. Now, while you're doing this, just remember that we've got the links and we've also got the hover and active state on those links. So be sure to cover everything. So pause now, have a go at this.
Right, what we call is going to be BTN. Right, easy. BTN. And we go open this. And we put all of these buttons. Do BTN. Copy and paste. Boop. 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 Okay. So what do we put in here? .btn is going to be this. So delete all of this. Cut this, put it in here. Delete all of this. And then we do btn hovers. Not btn point hovers. Then we put here. Where's it? Here. Now we delete this. And then there we have it. Right? Run. It's still the same, right? Oi, computer, why is it so slow?
And I'll see you back. Let's just reopen and one life of what you have achieved in this course. When you're ready, I'll see you there.
Right, mates. We are about to finish.
Okay, you've taken the time to follow this course, do all of the
I'm so hungry now.
and I
Have
just
to eat.
want to say
Let me cook something first, and then we will come back.
Let's recap what we did. We started off by adding semantic HTML to make our layout more
Look, oh my
accessible.
god.
We
What
improved
What the heck is that? Oh, she got a long fingers. And why does she clap like that? You do this, right? Whoa, her fingers. It's probably a solid 5-inch. Yeah.
the user experience
Jesus
by
Christ.
putting and active states on our links using pseudo selectors, and we can see them in action right here. We also styled up these links to have either dotted underline or site accessible. We want to use the anchor tags. So now, when we have links which look like buttons, we can control the margin top and bottom and the height. We've also used the super useful trick of adding more than one class to an element. So we had a main class, in this case it was BTN, anchor tags. So now we looked at how you might have to miss. So we had a give yourself a big pat on the back for doing that. Take a good break now. And when you're ready to move on,
No,
the next leg of your
not
journey
big
is waiting for you.
Right. Finish this. Whoa. Whoa. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Try to finish this, all of this. Working with APIs, building app with Flexbox. Right, 6 hours. This one we're going to 6 hours. So 1 day. Hello. My name is Tung, T-U-N-G. We will be finishing this. Can we make it on the 26th? guys, would I able to make it to finish all of this within how many days? It's Sunday, Monday, so it's like 7, and then 7 plus 5, 22 days. No, what am I doing? 7 plus 5, 12 days. 12 days. I'm not a front-end developer. I'm trying to be one. I'm planning to finish all of this within how many days do we have left? Right. I tried to make it by the 26th of August, and then I will apply for jobs over here in Vietnam. I live in Vietnam, by the way. I used to study in Canada, but for some reason my document take a while to get here, and yeah, I'm trying to get an internship in Vietnam. I had one with marketing, so now I do one more for web dev, and I will be set to go. I'll be set quite good. Yeah, so by the end of 26, we will finish 14 more modules. Last week we did 2, 3. I'm from Vietnam. So this. Ooh, it will take a long time. 1 week might be. Hey, nice to meet you. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Successful programming. Nice to meet you. Right. 4 modules in 1 week. We will have to speed it up next week. I take like 2 days off this week. And how many hours did we do per day? It's probably like really low hour. Probably do like 4 hours a day, 5 hours. That's not good. 5 hours is not good enough, guys. We need to do 5 to 8, 6 to 8 in order to complete it in time. How many hours do I have left? One for this. So I think I'm going to finish this by today. This is for tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. It's only 2 hours. So tomorrow, right, we do. Today is the 14th. Right, 2 hours tomorrow. And this is going to take a while because 8 hours from the last course that I take this one. It takes me around a week, but this is when I first touch JavaScript. So I think it will be faster with this one. This is responsive design. This is going to take a while. Probably give it 1 week. 1 week. 2 hours 1 day. 8 hours 1 week might be. I'm not really sure. This one I take it like I do like 2 hours a day. That's why it's like take me 1 week. Next level JavaScript. This sounds like an interesting one, right, guys? Okay, I will have to cook something now. I'm starving. Right, see you guys. I will be back